Hi guys, today we are going to, or I am going to, why do I always say we? I don't know. I feel like I'm just including you in every video because you're part of this too. Today I'm going to just be creating a look in a way that I usually do my makeup when I'm not filming, which honestly, I do film most of the time when I do my makeup, but like if I'm doing my eyeshadow and stuff when I'm not filming, how I usually do it is I usually pull from like different palettes and stuff like that, and I never really use just one thing. So for today's video, we're going to be using a lot of Odens products. This is not a sponsored video, but I did want to mention their promotion that is going to be going on during Easter. They're having a mystery box, which is super, super cool. You guys know I used to love the Jeffree Star mystery boxes, but we don't support him on this channel anymore. But when Odens said that they were having a mystery box and they asked if I wanted to promote it, I said sure, because honestly, I love the brand. You guys know I love the brand. And it just gives me another excuse to like play with the stuff on camera. So I think that is great. So let me just quickly tell you about the promotion before we get into this. So like I was saying, they're having mystery boxes. They're having two different sizes. They're having a small one, which is going to be 25 euros, I think it was. Let me just make sure that I get that correctly here. Yes, 25 euros for the small box. You're going to get 40 euros worth of products. They're also having a large box, which is going to be 55 euros. And in that one, you get 100 euros worth of products. So these do not include anything from the Norns collection, which was the newest collection. I've done videos with basically everything from Odens. I have their whole collection. I've been so blessed to get it all in PR. The event is going to start on April 4th, and you're going to be able to get the mystery boxes until the 6th. I don't know if they're going to sell out. You can use my code Annette to save 10% off. It is an affiliated code, just so you know. But I think this is a really good way to like try out a brand if maybe you haven't tried them before, because it will be a good way to like sample a lot of their products, because a lot of their products are simply amazing, and I'm so excited to be just playing with my favorites. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna start with eyes, because eyes is the most fun part to me anyway. So I'm just gonna start by priming with my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base. And I've pulled out a lot of my favorite palettes from Odens that I want to use in this look. I haven't quite decided what I want to do yet, but we'll figure that out together. So my plan here is that I definitely want to use this palette. This is the Elva 2 palette, which I love this palette. This is such a cute, fun, colorful, like, but still light and springy palette. So I think I want to use this one along with possibly this one, which is the Elva palette. So all of these are going to be available in the boxes, depending on which box you get. Obviously, you can't pick what palette you want in your boxes, but I think that this is going to pair quite nicely with the other one. I want to use this yellow because there's not a yellow in the other palette, despite it being kind of a rainbow palette. And there's also a darker matte in this, so I'm thinking I want to use these two colors from this palette, and then some of the more colorful palette, some of the more colorful shades from the other palette. Sometimes speaking is so hard, and I don't know why. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the mattes and just kind of see where that takes me, because I don't really know what I want to do on my lid yet. I'm just gonna take it one color at a time. I have no plan. Who is surprised though? I'm gonna start using this yellow here, and I'm just gonna put that in the inner corner of my eye just because that's fun. And sometimes I like starting with my inner corner, especially if I'm gonna use the yellow. A yellow just looks really cool in the inner corner, in my opinion. I'm probably going to layer some kind of a highlighter over the top of this or some kind of a shimmer, but I do like when I go in with like a light colorful shade in my inner corner, I do like to go in with that one first, especially if it's a matte. And this is such a good yellow. This is one of the best yellows in my collection. This one is so nice and pigmented. So I guess we're doing a bit of a warm tone look today, because once you go in with yellow, it's kind of hard to like go any other direction unless you want to like pull in like greens or blues. I guess you could really do whatever. I take that back. Anyway, let's see. I'm going to dip into the Elva 2 palette, and I'm gonna grab the orange here. I think that would be kind of fun. So I'm gonna take this one basically like in the rest of my crease. And I think that this is a fun way to just get more use out of your makeup. If you're someone who usually uses only one palette to do your makeup, maybe next time, just to challenge yourself, like pick out two palettes and try to pick like, 2 or 3 shades, or even one from each palette, and like use them together. It's a really good way, like I said, to just get more use out of your collection and not feel like you're not giving all of your palettes the love that they deserve, because all palettes deserve to be loved equally, Yeah, there are some palettes that are just better than others, obviously, and that's just how it's going to be, but, all palettes are deserving of love, even if they aren't your absolute favorites, and they can maybe become your favorites if you use them along with something that you really like, Like, look how beautiful this color is. It's such a beautiful orange. Just gonna take this underneath my eye as well, sort of in the same spot that I did on top. I do have a 7 look video with this palette if you want to see more looks. I can link that up in the corner for you because I'm really happy with all the looks that I did in that video, and I think they turned out really good, and this palette is just really nice as well. Okay, so the question is, what do I want to do like on the outer half, or outer third probably I should say, on my eye here? Do I want to use like a pink or something? Could that be kind of fun? I'm thinking maybe I can use one of the shades from the mini Sky palette here, because this color is really, really nice, and I think it's going to go very nicely with this orange. And then we can use another shade to deepen this up with, because I just want to play with like a lot of these. It's been such a long time since I've been able to really use these palettes. So I'm gonna take that shade, like I said, on the outer portion of my eye here, and basically just blend it into the orange that I have going on. And I'm sure you guys have seen me do this technique many times, where I do sort of like a three-tone crease, if you want to call it that. I don't know if you can call it three tones, as I have one in the inner corner. It's more of a two-tone crease with like an inner corner shade. I don't know. I'm just going to connect this in the outer corner of my eye here and just sort of flick this out a little bit, because I do want this to be a little bit of a winged out shape. Like, see how pretty that is? Those work very nicely together. I am going to deepen up my outer corner a little bit once I'm done with the shade, because I do like to have some depth in my looks. So I think I'm gonna stick to my original plan, and I'm gonna use the Elva palette, and I'm gonna grab the shade down here. This is sort of a, how would I explain this? It's like a purple brown. It's like if purple and a brown had a baby. Is there a name for that? Probably, but I don't know it. So I'm just gonna put this in the outer corner of my eye here and sort of blend it into that outer corner shade, or that outer crease shade. And I feel like one of the nice ways about doing your makeup like this, where you use multiple things, is that your looks are never going to end up looking similar or the same, because you're dipping into like multiple tones of different colors that you wouldn't just have in one palette. And it just makes for more unique and interesting color combinations that maybe you wouldn't have thought to put together otherwise. I'm taking a little bit of this just underneath my eye as well, just to connect the outer corner. Very pretty. So let's see, what do I want to do on my lid? I feel like I can go in sort of a lot of directions here, but I would like to sort of stick to warmer tones, because I just feel like it's going to go nicer with what I have going on here. But I do want to have, I think I want to have like some kind of a purple sort of in the middle of my lid, and then a lighter shimmer on the inner portion, and then maybe like a yellowy gold layered over that yellow or something. So let me see what I can find, because I have a lot of really good options here. Maybe for the middle of my lid, I can use a little bit of this shade from the Sky palette, this one in the middle here, because this one is so beautiful. First, we need some glitter primer. The one that I use is from NYX. You probably know that already, but sometimes I feel like I should say it in case, you know, someone is new and they don't know. So I'm just gonna put this all over where I want my shimmers to go, not being precise or anything like that. Just want to have a little bit of a sticky layer down before I put down the shimmers. And this is also going to really help pick up the shimmers on the brush, because sometimes with shimmers like this that are very sparkly and very textured, sometimes they can be a little bit crumbly and hard to pick up. So I'm gonna grab this shade in the split pan on the sticky side of my brush. I'm just gonna kind of go like this. See how beautifully that picks up? And I'm just gonna start in the middle of my lid and drag this outwards. This is such a pretty color. I really love the split pan shimmers in these mini palettes. I think that they are so beautiful. So I know I said I wanted to stick to warmer tones, and this is definitely a cool tone pink, or pinky purple, whatever you want to call it. It's definitely leaning cool tone, but that's okay. I still think it goes very nicely with this look, and I think that whatever I put in the front portion is going to make it all come together. I'm just blending this into the outer corner of my eye here. What a pretty color that is. Let's see, what do I want to do for the inner portion? I do want to have either something that I can layer like over the yellow, or something that's going to just look nice next to the yellow. So I had to go grab yet another palette, because I know there's a shade in this that I absolutely love. This is like my favorite shade from Odens. I'm going to use this one from the Solmane palette, and that's basically going to be, look how pretty that is. This is like I said, probably my favorite shade from Odens. It's just so beautiful. Going to give this a little spritz of Fix Plus here, because it's been like long enough that I feel like my glitter primer has maybe dried a little bit. So I'm just gonna put this in, I'm speechless. I'm just speechless. It's such a pretty shade. Like, just look how wet looking and reflective that is. So pretty. Like, does it go with this look? Probably not, but you know what? I don't even care because I just love this shadow and I needed it on my eyes. And I think that together with this pink, it creates like the most beautiful, I don't even know how to explain this. It just looks really, really nice and I am super happy to be using the shadow again. Just gonna wrap this around in my inner corner and just layer it a little bit over that yellow as well. Wow, that is beautiful. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off my eyes. I'll come back and we can do like the rest of the face and stuff together because I still have so many things from one side that I wanna play with, so I'll be right back. Okay, so the eyes are done, and to finish off, I did a little bit of like a very pastel yellow in my waterline. I wanted something to kind of mimic like the shade that I have in my inner corner, but I didn't have like the perfect match, but I feel like this was close enough and it's going to tie it nicely in together, and I really like how it turned out. So let's see, let's start with lips because why not, right? So I'm going to use one of the cream lip stains. I love these. These are my favorites. I think that they are so comfortable and I just love the formula of them. So I'm going to use the shade here called Miss Canna, which is a red, but I'm going to line my lips first with a lip liner because I just need that. Maybe this lip liner was a little bit too pink for what I was going for, but let's go ahead and just try this anyway because these are very opaque, so I think it'll be okay. I just needed something to kind of overline a little bit. Yeah, these are just so beautiful. I love how they look on the lips, and they smell so good. They smell like candy, and you guys know how much I love sugar. If you don't, hi, I'm Annette. I love sugar. Anything sweet, so here for it. For my blush today, I want to use the one in Ripe Papaya. This is one of the matte ones. Such a beautiful, very summery blush, and I'm gonna go quite heavy with this because I do like me some heavy blush. So I'm gonna start just on the upper portion here and kind of do a little bit of blush draping. I'm gonna focus most of the pigment of the blush like on the upper half because I just prefer that placement on my face shape. I just feel like it's a little bit more flattering than putting most of the pigment like on the apples of my cheek, especially since I have quite a round face to begin with. This just helps it be a little bit more proportionate, but look at that color, it's so pretty. Going to, of course, put some blush on my nose as well, especially with such a cute color as this. I love it. This is so summery, and the weather has been so nice lately here too, which makes me so happy because I was getting quite sick of it being cold all the time. Not that like cold in Vegas is super cold, but it's cold enough that you go outside and you're like, oh, it's cold out. So let's see, let's finish off with highlighter. I'm going to use the Solmane highlighting palette, which is my favorite out of the bunch. I'm gonna grab the shade here, which is called Mona, which I can barely read because I've used it so much that you can't even see the imprint in it anymore. And I'm just gonna apply this as my highlighter because that's what you do with highlighters. Like, I like that these are very buildable and you can really get it to be super intense, but you also don't get that holy crap, like now what do I do when you put it on your face? But you can build it up to be super nice. These aren't as glittery as, say, the Bitter Lace Beauty highlighters that I've been using. They're a lot smoother on the face, so if you don't like something that's glittery, I think that you would love these because they just look so nice. Such a beautiful highlighter. Taking a little bit of this as well, just on my brow bone, which honestly, most of the time I forget to do this step, but I do really like how it looks. I just need to remember to do it more often. So that's basically going to be the look. I really like how this turned out, and it's so much fun for me to just be able to use more than one thing in a look because usually I'm like always reviewing things and I feel like I can't really justify like pulling in a different shade from somewhere else when I could use a shade in the palette that I could also review, you know what I mean? So this was super fun. I had such a good time doing this. Don't forget to check out their mystery boxes. I'm sure they're going to be a huge hit, and I mean honestly all of their products are a huge hit in my book, so I think that if you end up getting a mystery box and whatever you end up getting in the box, you're probably going to like it because the quality of all of their products are just really nice. So that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you want to see some more Odens content, I will have my playlist up on the screen, and if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.